Hey, it's me again. It's been a while since I made a video like this where I just talk over some gameplay that I find interesting, and I think that's a bit of a shame because this is the type of content that I would want to watch. And this game is actually very interesting. I'm working on a new build order. I'll actually just walk you through it. Like I'm playing Thor here. Usually you'll see me put dwarven mine here or over here and immediately start mining with my dwarfs. And instead of that, what I do here, well, first of all, I forget to get hunting dogs immediately. That's a bit of a mistake, but I start chopping wood with my dwarfs. I hit goats 3 times, and then I go over to this. 3 times, and hitting and killing a caribou with a town center is enough for 1 favor. Anyways, what you see me doing here is I get 120 wood, and then these 2 dwarfs are going to go over into the gold mine. So I get pickaxe here immediately after hunting dogs. Obviously, this means that I cannot queue up what's it called, pig sticker, the Thor unique hunting upgrade. But just having hunting dogs in the beginning is perfectly fine too. Hunting dogs is the better of the 2 hunt upgrades. So that's 2 dwarves on gold right now and 4 on food. And because of just the way that resources are coming into me, I have to build a dwarf here. So that's 4 on food, 4 villagers on food, and then I just build a dwarf onto wood. Since I'm playing Thor, my dwarves are equally good as villagers at chopping wood. This is one of Thor's unique benefits. One you usually don't really make advantage of or take advantage of, but you can actually do stuff like this in the beginning with Thor.
Yeah.
Very, very efficiently. So I'm not even sure what I'm doing. I'm spamming some button. Oh, probably to get pig sticker, right? So I have hunting dogs, then I get pickaxe, and now I get pig sticker. So this ox cart has really been busy this entire game.
Yeah.
I had 2 villagers onto wood, and I'm going to build
Yeah.
2 more villagers over onto food here. My Ulfsak, all the while, he's just been building a house, and he's making a very standard scouting pattern here just to see where the food is. I've already noticed this auric here. It's going to move into the shadow again, but I know where to go afterwards here. So I have 6 villagers on food now. I'm gonna start sending villagers over here. Send a villager, then an ox cart, and now I've got 2 ox carts when this one is out, and I've already got the dwarven mine, obviously. So I don't need any more I don't need any more ox carts, so I can just focus on getting to 80 wood right now. So these 2 are going to get 10 wood, and then they're going to go over to the auric afterwards. This dwarf is going to go for 1 more load of wood, and then he'll go over to the gold mine.
Yeah.
What you saw here, both of these villagers, they just took 10 wood, and then they're going over here. This isn't an exact science how to do this, but the point is you want to get to 80 wood. Mess up slightly here and getting to 81 wood, but it's okay. Anyways, I'm sending 4 villages there. I'm going to send 2 more, so that I'm going to have 6 hunters over on this spot, and I'm going to have 6 hunters on this spot as well. And for those of you who have followed the way I like to make build orders with Thor, you probably know what's going to happen afterwards. This caribou is depleted, is I'm going to send them over to wood. So they go directly from caribou, and then they'll go over here afterwards.
Yeah.
So I right click here, hold down shift, and go over to wood afterwards. So there is no downtime at all. They don't have to walk to a new hunting spot. They don't have to go to the TC and then maybe I find another wood spot somewhere. Like, it's maximum efficiency here. Actually, something I didn't show you here, come to think of it, I got hand axe too. Once pig sticker was done, I researched hand axe as well. So I've got 4 economic upgrades here in the Archaic age. And I'm just sending... I'm actually getting 7 villagers over onto wood now. 7 villagers with hand axe, so my wood economy is going to absolutely explode here. I am versus set though. I'll be honest with you guys, I just wanted to practice this build order when I entered into this game. Probably not the best matchup here for it versus set, because set does some very early aggression here. See over on his side, he's going for a very early advance, and he's going up through Tar, so he's going to see if he can find my outside hunters go for a Shifting Sands play.
Skipan.
I noticed that he's scouting with his hyena here. Now he's using vision and he's just sending all of these guys over here.
Já.
Já.
Really sucks for me.
Hver er þar?
I'm losing a villager there.
Hver er þar?
Now he's focusing down a new villager. I don't think he'll be able to get it. This wall, as you see me build here, I think it's a very good preemptive wall. Even if I don't get all of it up, it is still very beneficial to me right here.
Skipan. Tilbúin.
He kills one villager,
Yeah.
but that's it.
Skipan.
So I'm actually defending the early aggression from him very, very well here.
Tilbúin.
And I've got 2 more elks over here. So that's where I'm going right
Hver
now.
er þar? Skipan.
Anyways, the first thing I do here is build an ox cart because
Samþykkt. Já.
the dwarven mine is depleted, so I need an ox cart. And I'm just gonna auto-queue dwarves over here now.
Hver er þar?
Já.
Still got 7 on wood,
Hver er þar?
but because I lost a villager on hunt here, and since it's very easy for me to just put I think I have to take 2 villagers from wood over into food here,
Skipan.
Tilbúin.
I decide to go for that. Oftentimes you can actually, if I was totally uninterrupted here, and if I just go from hunt to here, without any interruption, without any aggression from my opponent, I would have done
Yeah.
just that, and I could still have 7 on
Yeah.
wood. And I can get a second TC really early, or I can get armory upgrades, or like 4 or 5 barracks. But because of the early aggression, I have to sort of get 7 onto food here.
Skipan.
Only got 5 on wood for now.
Skipan.
And usually when you play Norse, is what I find at least, is that you can auto-queue dwarves until you have 8 of them. By that point, it's going to be hard to keep auto-queuing dwarves because you're also making raiding cavalry and throwing axemen. And you see my gold is already really low right now. So I can't really afford any more dwarves right now.
Hver er þar?
So 8 dwarves, and then I start building gatherers.
Já.
And I think I'll just send them over to goats for now.
Hver er þar? Hver er þar? Skipan.
And I see Aihut here, he's built a second TC. So I'm actually housed here. Bit of a mistake by me, I shouldn't get housed here.
Hver er
But
þar?
because I see him with this forward TC up here, I decide I can just get a second TC myself.
Hver er þar?
That's usually how I think Norse should react to Egyptian players, is if they see them build a second TC, then you can build one yourself. But if I go for an immediate second TC versus set here,
Skipan.
it would be very risky because the early aggression that he could put onto me would be so devastating, and he could easily stop me from even getting that TC up. But the fact that he spent so many resources, so much time and energy getting this TC up means I can pretty easily get this one up instead.
Já.
And I get Harmonious Necklace, one of the very best relics in the game, maybe even the best one. So that's good for me too. It boosts your gold economy by 10% is what it says, but in reality, oftentimes it's like 15 or even 20%. So it's an amazing relic. Always get this one if you can.
Já. Hver er þar?
And make sure that you secure it too, don't just sit here, right? Whatever. Trying to do some small bit of raiding here with the troll, really not much use of it. I have to go for Facetti versus Set because there is the threat of potential Anubite abuse, and if I go for Freya and he goes for Anubite abuse, I am dead meat. Nothing I can do against it, but with trolls you can kind of counter it because the trolls are actually very good against the Anubites. So I really don't see any option when you're going versus Set or Isis. You kind of have to go for Facetti, I think.
Já.
Skipan.
Tilbúin.
In a game like this, though, the troll and most of Forsetti's bonuses are kind of useless. Mostly, they're just there to... Mostly Forsetti is just there to ensure that I don't get abused by Anubites.
Tilbúin. Hver er þar? Tilbúin. Já.
Right now, I'm sending all of my villagers onto food, and still 9 on wood. No, on gold, sorry. The point is I want to get Heroic Age really quickly now, because that's what he's doing too. I can smell that. He hasn't really shown himself. He's not raiding. He's not going aggressive in any shape here at all. So I know that he's going Heroic Age. So I will do the same. If I stay classical and he goes Heroic Age, I'm going to have a very hard time countering Chariot Archers and Scorpion Men. He's doing a good job over here converting some of the elks over on my side. And only 1 left here. So really good job by him. But I do manage to kill his priest at the very least. Finally, I have resources for Heroic. Yeah, there's resources for Heroic, and now I have to
Hver er þar? Hver er þar?
get enough wood for hill forts.
Tilbúin.
And I think I actually screw up just slightly here because it's too late that I realize, hey, I've got
Skipan.
8,
Hver þar?
15,
Tilbúin.
20 villagers on food still. And obviously I have to put like these
Yeah.
guys over on straggler trees instead.
Yeah.
These guys could maybe do wood chopping just for a bit, and then they can go over to Oryx afterwards. Because I need optimally like 500 wood right now, so I can build 2 hill forts immediately. But I'm way too slow to put my hunters over onto wood. So the result is I've got a really good food economy, but there's really not much use of it. Because I need those hill forts up.
Tilbú satt. Satt.
And I need infantry upgrades too. Actually, even cavalry upgrades as well. I think right here I finally realized I screwed up. I needed to get a lot more wood earlier. So I sent these guys over onto wood instead, and I think I have enough wood almost for a hill fort now.
Já.
These guys I put over to straggler trees as well. These guys are just hunting. But already now I can get the hill fort up, and I use it here to secure my gold mine. I think it's just the safest choice. And if I put it more forward over here, for example, his early aggression with siege towers, ancestors, chariot archers, scorpion men, is going to be way too effective. So I just play it very defensively. You're really forced to do that versus Egyptian when you're playing Norse. It is not a good matchup for you, I think. I think Zed is a really good counter to Norse. And you're really forced to play very defensive when you're playing Norse here. So I'm even getting a market now, aiming for a fast mythic, because I think that's what he's going for too now. He still hasn't really shown himself. Hasn't gone raiding with chariot archers or siege towers or anything, so that's what I'm thinking right now, is he's going for Horus, and the best counter for me then is to go for Ragnarok. Because when he hits Horus, he can start spamming out either animals or Avengers. And especially since I went Bragi, I don't even have Frost Giants to counter with. So I'm gonna need Rag Heroes if I want to be able to compete here. So that's what I'm doing. And once again, you can see me managing my economy now. I have 0 on wood because I really just want to get Mythic Age right now. So these guys were doing wood. Wait, these guys were doing wood before. Now they're on to food. And these guys, well, there's no more hunt left on this side, so they're gone on to wood again now. But over here, these wood choppers that I had before, they're now on goats. And I'm just trying desperately to get to 1,000 food right here. I think I'm gonna ring the bell here. There I have the resources. And I've said this a few times in this game now that I screw up, but this is the biggest screw up I make this game. I have 2 town centers, and I choose to advance from my home TC. Even though I know perfectly well what he's doing, and that is he's going Horus. And when you go Horus, you get access to the tornado. And look what he's doing right here. He's sending his Scorpion Man over here. And you all know what's going to happen now, is he's going to use his tornado on my home TC.
Hver þar? Hver þar?
And all of this idle time, all of this trying to get to Mythic Age through Balder, is just wasted. He's a bit preemptive here with the Scorpion Man, but it's okay. Finally, he's showing some form of aggression, but it's not really much. I counter that with my battle balls for now. There's the Horus in, and I know I screwed up. I maybe already here I should have just cancelled it and started advancing from this TC instead. But yeah,
Já.
he's sending his Scorpion Man now. It's a bit late with it, but it's coming here. And look at this disaster for me. I'm doing really well this game. Really, really well in terms of economy and having enough villagers and all of this. But this tornado destroys my game plan entirely. It actually even takes down a temple and my home TC here. Luckily no villager lost, because I was quick to put my villagers away. But yeah, he takes down TC, temple, and even a tower.
Já.
Now he's using ancestors here. Bit of a blunder by him, if you ask me, because I had Herses right nearby. But this is a huge set power spike that he hits here. He's hitting me now with catapults, chariot archers, and these rhinos that are so hard to counter. There is no direct counter to these rhinos other than maybe villagers, especially since I have Pig Sticker. But it's really hard to micro that, so For now, I'm just building Jarls and stopped building Hoskell there for some reason. That must have been a mistake. But this is such a sick set power spike. He takes down my home TC with Tornado, he goes raiding with the Avenger here, and he uses Ancestors over here, while he's hitting my forward TC with this army here. So much pressure that the set player is able to pluck down once he hits Mythic Age here. And I've got a bunch of upgrades, heavy infantry and 2 army upgrades already. He's got none. Yeah, he's got none, so at least in that regard I'm well ahead. But his army is so much better than mine. Try to take down the catapults here, but they just go down to the Pharaoh. The Mythic Age Pharaoh is a very, very powerful unit, and I cannot even take down 1 catapult before I lose it. So it's looking a bit dire for me right here. Losing my home TC with that Ragnarok advance, I lost it at like 90%. It's so brutal. And I forget to build a temple as well. I didn't realize, I think, that Tornado took down my temple as well. So I'm not even gonna get a fire giant here either. So it's a total catastrophe for me right now. Trying to take down the catapults, I managed to take down 1, but he's building so many. He's got 5 right here. I do manage to take down 1, but it's also costing me quite a lot. And he's taking down a TC, 2 hill forts, bunch of longhouses, and a lot of other stuff. So it's looking really good for him, and I'm wondering what should I even do here. And I just say to myself, I'll just use Ragnarok. Down here I've got 16 Heroes of Ragnarok, and over here I had 19, and here I had 17. So it's something like maybe, actually I can even see it here. 60 villagers, 59 villagers in total, and I have flaming weapons. So it's not a bad Ragnarok here at all. I do manage to already now kill a few of his gold miners, which is great. And I kill his army and his catapults here as well, so that's really good for me. Taking down these catapults is so valuable because of how expensive they are and how easy you can take them down once you actually get to them. I build back my home TC and I build back this one because I know I'm going to have to. This Ragnarok is not going to be a game winner, not in and of itself. I'm going to have to recover my economy. So, using flaming weapons here, these guys are in position over here, and these guys are in position right here. So, it's a good time for flaming weapons. I also built my market here, because like I said, I am gonna have to rebuild my economy. 19 Rag Heroes over here, he's got totally unprotected TC. Should be more than enough, especially with flaming weapons being used. See what he's doing here. Still, he's got 2 catapults in his army. Taking down my market, really annoying. Threatening this TC as well. This gold mine was just depleted for him. I see that now, and that's really a disaster for him. So he's not getting any gold right now. So my Ragnarok is working out. You should definitely always try to gold control your opponent when you're using Ragnarok. And I'm killing so many villagers here too. The problem is he's got this big army here with carrot archers and axemen, plus the 2 Migdals and these buildings over here. So even with flaming weapons, also because of the fact that I didn't have fire giants, even just one fire giant would have made a huge difference here. But because I didn't have the temple, it didn't happen. I'm looking at it from his perspective right now, because that's interesting to see how well he is defending it. But he's not getting any gold right now, so any gold income he's got is because he's selling wood right now. Go over to my perspective again. I'm looking for any back gold mines, but I think I quickly realized he doesn't really have any, so I know I have to protect this one and this one. I'm at 117 population though. Thankfully I've got 3 TCs and they're all producing villagers right now. This one is making dwarves, villagers. I have to make farms too though. I had such a scuffed Ragnarok here that I only had like 6 farms over here, but these guys, they have to build new ones. So it's a very, very tough job for me to recover my economy, even with 3 TCs and the market. This market is going to be idle for a long time because I simply don't have the food economy for villager production and trade production as well. But I know for now I just need to see if I can set up my economy again and try to control the gold. So that's what I'm doing here. It's a good little raid over here, or a big raid in fact. and are hitting all of his villagers pretty much. I don't think he's got many villagers. He's got like, he's got a lot of villagers actually, like 20 over here, but then the rest are over here. So I'm forcing a lot of villager idle time here. I'm killing a lot of villagers too, and this is, guys, this is important. When you're using Fire Giant here, try to get them as close as possible, and then use the special attack. This is the way you deal the most damage with Fire Giant. Make sure that you micro them properly. Everyone knows you should micro your Chimera if you're playing Greek, but microing a Fire Giant is equally important. So, you see my Ragnarok now is actually really weak. I've got 6 Rag heroes here, I've got another 6 here, and then the rest is just trash. Finally, I finally got a Fire Giant from one of these temples, and it's doing so much work. Can you just imagine I had one of these guys when I used Ragnarok? Would have made so much difference. But for now, I'm taking down this Migdal, making sure that I send every unit underneath it, including the Throwing Axemen, like this. And the Migdal stronghold is just going down now, without him being able to do much. But he's killing these guys. It is what it is. I'm getting some retribution kills. Actually, some nice retribution kills. They were in a bad spot, but they're still getting some good value here. Migdal goes down, and not really able to kill any of the villagers, unfortunately for me. He's got his Pharaoh back, and he's now making these rhinos. They don't cost anything, other than favor, obviously, but he's got a lot of it. He's got 2 monuments, so this is a free army for him to make. The Fire Giant is a really good counter to these animals. I said they have no counter, but Fire Giants certainly are a counter to them. And he's making catapults again. I think this is a mistake. If I was him, I would just focus on setting up my economy and my trade route and everything. Definitely not the time for catapults, especially when it just die immediately like here. Well, yeah, it's just a rhino army from him now. My Rag heroes are dead. I've got 2 over here and 1 here. So Rag is over, 39 population. Meanwhile, he's sitting at 76. Damn. It's looking grim for me. My only real saving grace was that I could goal control earlier, but that's not even an option anymore. Good wall by him here, making this Fire Giant unable to immediately disrupt it. Setting a catapult over here to deal with the temples as well, pretty smart of him. I think I sent this Fire Giant over there to deal with the catapult, but unfortunately I don't realize in time, so I don't get to do it. I am just spamming villagers now, and I have to do it onto wood as well, because I don't have farms set up. I've got 13 here now, and 5 here, so 18 in total. It's beginning to look alright. 20 farms now. The Fire Giant is actually taking down the Pharaoh. These Fire Giants deal so much damage, so that even if they deal negative multipliers versus a unit like the Pharaoh, they can still be quite effective against them, simply because of how much base damage they have. And he's getting a lot of value, this guy. Not only is he killing some units here, but he's also keeping his entire army preoccupied over on this spot, so I can slowly begin to rebuild my economy. The walls I've got here, they're really good for me. Sort of gives me some security that he's unable to send chariot archers from here over here to disrupt my trade and these guys. Even if he isn't trying to raid here, it's just the sense of security that you get from walls like this. Really underrated. Well, I think most people by now know that walls are really good, but yeah. Make sure that you get these types of walls when you can. But rebuilding my economy is the name of the game right now. He's also built his TCs back up, and he is also auto-queuing villagers from 2 TCs, trying to set up his trade route meanwhile. He's even cleaning up the walls as well with the catapult here. Very smart of him. But his economy isn't even that good. You see him struggling to get the food that he needs. And he's got a lot of wood, but he doesn't have the gold to make the farm transition. So he is kind of forced to have all of these villagers onto wood still. He does have the Shadoof upgrade, so he could actually do it right now, but so many things you have to focus on here in late games, so it's alright that he doesn't do it. Over on my side now, I am actually beginning to make trade route now, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 4 caravans for now, 5 caravans. But it's still something, and it's going to add up because this is a really good trade route. I need to obviously wall it better than I do, and I'm actually doing it as I speak. These walls are going to help me out a bunch. Once this trade route gets up and running, I'll be in a much better spot. Because I can start making fire giants, and I can start making ballistas.
Hver Thor?
For now though, my economy is way too weak, and part of it is because I've had to rebuild, or had to build all these farms after the Ragnarok. But at least I've got a lot. 20 over here, and 8 here, so 28. That's almost enough food for you, for the Norse player in Mythic Age. He's gone catapult raiding again. And it's very risky play by him with these catapults, but you see here, finally, he's got a huge army here. Of priests, chariot archers, animals, axemen. Really, really hard for me to get through this army here, because there's so many good counters in his army. What I'll need in order to fight back this army is fire giants and ballistas. And I don't even have a hill fort right now, because he took down the 2 earlier that stood here.
Skipan?
He even takes down my temple right now, so I have to rebuild that one as well.
Ja.
But only when I get ballistas and fire giants can I truly begin to counter his army. Maybe even Jarls too, so I'm gonna need hill forts en masse, pretty much. Taking down my houses, threatening my TC, so I'm not in a great spot here. I'm trying to just run around with these raiders here, seeing if I can maybe snipe down one of these catapults.
Ja.
But it's very hard, because he's protecting them pretty well with the big army that he's got. And while all of this is happening, I'm forced to rebuild the houses that he's destroying. And I'm losing vision as well, so really tough spot for me to be in. He makes a small blunder here though, and I'm able to actually surround one of these catapults with my units. Raiding cavalry without any upgrades other than the armory ones, but I take down 1 catapult, and that means that this siege now is only 50% as effective as it would be otherwise, and that's huge for me. It's giving me time to get these fire giants out, and this hill fort is going to go up soon as well, and I'm slowly beginning to get an army now, because my economy, as you can see here, is actually quite good. It's actually very strong. There's also the trade route to boot, so honestly all I need right now is the proper military and enough production to keep up with a spam war. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm beginning to get there. The fire giants, not really much of a threat yet, and part of the reason why is because I've only got 2. But the big reason why is I don't have ballistas, and ballistas can take down the priests and the pharaoh pretty well from a distance. They can target them down, and even though they're a bit imprecise, they can actually deal with them quite well. So that's definitely the combo you're going for versus Egyptian late game. It's not perfect, especially when there's mercenaries in the mix, but it's the best you've got. I have 1 ballista now, trying to target down the pharaoh, but he's moving it away.
Skipan?
And while all of this is happening, obviously he's still hitting my TC with his catapult. Trying to repair it with just 1 Alfsag's not enough.
Ja?
I think this TC is about to go down. I'm sending my fire giants now, trying to take care of this catapult, because they actually deal good damage to it, as you can see here. Boom! 3 shots and they're dead. I have to take care of this one too now, but he's got Nephthys priests with this upgrade, and the pharaoh too, so the fire giants are actually pretty vulnerable to them. Finally he manages to take down the TC.
Tilbúin.
So now I'm at 150 population, and I've got so many civilian units because I had to rebuild my economy. So I don't have a lot of space for military pop right now, but I've got these ballistas, and look how effectively I all of a sudden can actually deal with this army. I'm doing a good job microing down the priests as well, because they're weak, they're expensive, 100 gold for these units that I can easily snipe down like this. But yeah, I'm managing to fight back here, even with 140 population only, just because of these ballistas. Over on his side of things, his economy is really good actually. The problem is, his production is all the way over in his base, so it's it's a bit hard for him to replenish his army over here. And he has to sort of play defensively again now. He's setting up his trade route here, but with just one single market. And it's a bit late. He's only got 5, 6, 7, 8 caravans. He's gonna need at least 20 more before he's good to go. So he's mining over here, and I noticed this by a stroke of luck, because I was going there to mine myself. One thing you can do as Norse here is you can convert villages to Ulfsaks, and they're very, very effective in this type of fight. These Ulfsaks has got heavy infantry and 2 armory upgrades, so they can take care of all these villagers here. Problem for me was none of the ox carts are actually there, and now he walled them in, so I'm not going to be able to mine from here at all. He's sending spearmen too. And over here he's kind of screwing up with these 2 catapults, but this one is in position at least. I'm mining from here as well. Plus, I've got a pretty decent trade route at this stage. Something like maybe 15 caravans, which is really, really good. It's not quite enough, but it's almost enough. But yeah, total chaos over here. Bunch of villagers running around, and I've got Ulfsaks trying to get things done. But he's got chariot archers and spearmen, so it's a question of time before this army, or all of these units, are going to just go to waste for me. I don't even know where these guys are going. They're so confused because of the walls. I'm rebuilding my home TC, by the way, and it's almost up now. So that's really, really good for me. I desperately need this extra 20 population to play around with. Finally, I get it up, and you see my economy is really, really good right now. Plus, I've got the good units, I've got the fire giants, and I can actually start going aggressive over onto his TC now. It's the first time in this game I'm the one who's able to go aggressive, other than the Ragnarok, obviously. But in a fair fight, this is the first time I'm able to do this, and it's because I've got the proper units. I'm trying to get some nice side builds over here, but he's doing a good job stopping it. I will get these 2 up though, by the looks of it. Anytime you can get like barracks behind enemy lines like this, it's huge value for you. Really big value, because you can easily spam out as many Ulfsaks as you want. Because they're trained really fast, and here in late game they're not even that trash units as they are otherwise. He's still trying to siege me down with the catapults, which I think is a mistake. He should be focusing on building his economy, especially the trade route, and just spam mercenaries. Eventually he can start building catapults again, but not now. So I've got a bit of an advantage in this game finally. Still only 2 armory upgrades for me. I think eventually I'll get more. I get 2 longhouses down here, and I think I'm gonna start spamming units and maybe even make a side build for this TC. So I can attack over in this position, force him to focus his energy over here, while I am building up an advantage over on this side here. And it's just one Ulfsak doing this, by the way. So that's definitely Norse's strength in late game, is you can do these types of side builds. And then obviously, for now, this army is really good against him, but if he gets more upgrades, if he gets a really good trade route going, this army is not gonna cut it. Egypt late game will eventually overtake Norse late game, but for now, I have an advantage with this army here. He's doing some nice raids with his 4 chariot archers here. And I don't really have any units in position to stop it. I wonder how he even got here, to be honest. What did he do? He must have sent chariot archers from here, and then all the way down here. Ah, unfortunate. So many good walls from me, but still he's able to to get through somehow. Well, somehow, I know how. Unfortunate for me. Finally, I get his TC down here with 4 fire giants and with a bunch of ballistas. Even actually with the mercenary spam incoming from him, I am able to do that. So that's great for me. I'm actually low on food right now, and it's because I'm spamming a bunch of military units. Once you start losing many units while still maintaining military production, your food will be depleted very quickly. So now it's me who's at a 3-2 TC advantage, and Still, these chariot archers are doing a good job. Oh, these raiding cavalry should be over here dealing with them, because they're doing such a good job disrupting this trade route. But I've got like... Damn, at this stage I've got, I think, maybe 30 caravans. It's more than enough. I should stop production here, to be honest, but... yeah. It's hard to really know the right spot when you're in the game. Much easier as an observer. I'm just spamming units over here now. Since I'm plus 20 population to him, I know that I should just keep this TC down and I will be in a good spot. So that's what I'm doing pretty much right here. While I'm still getting this side build up for the moment. Finally I managed to deal with this chariot archers, except for the one. But they managed to deal a lot of damage to me. I'm still very, very well off in terms of gold. I should really stop production here. Ah well. His TC still not going up. And you see my economy. So much gold and 100 favor as well. You can probably imagine what's gonna happen here, right? I'm gonna make fire giants. A fire giant. And once again, I ensure that I get some longhouses at annoying spots for him. Because longhouses here will threaten his trade route and even his wood choppers over here. Things are looking really good for me right now. I'm just spamming units right now. Play fast for a bit. Setting up some walls here as well. Really good, because there's going to be a big fight over this trade route. If I can stop this trade route, I am pretty much... I've won this game. But he actually manages to take back control of his TC here. I stopped production a little bit too much. I thought to myself, I'm going to send the fight over on this position instead. But you notice my population is dwindling very hard right now. So that enables him to get this TC up. But at the very least, I've got one good thing going for me, and that's this side build here. There's a temple making fire giants. It's 2 temple, in fact. And this hill fort is about to go up, and I'm gonna make rams from it. Rams actually deal a lot of damage. 2 buildings. Plus these fire giants will too. So, tough spot for him to be in right now. Has to defend this and over here as well. These were gold miners earlier, by the way. Obviously, since I've got such a good trade route, I don't need them anymore, so I'm sending them over here. And I'm trying to get this TC down before it goes up. Notice what happens here. Just before I get here, it goes up. So, 3 to 3 TCs again, but over on this spot over here, you see 3 fire giants now, 2 fire giants, portable ram, even setting up a tower here. Huge. And I've got barracks, I've got temples, hill forts, everything I need here. Should be targeting down the pharaoh with this tower. It's my mistake. Over here though, I'm starting to disrupt his trade now. So there's fights here, there's fights here, there's fights over here. This is what you want to do when you play Norse late game. You want to spread the chaos all over the map. You want to threaten multiple town centers, you want to threaten the trade route, and you want to try to gain as much map control as you can. So it's what I'm doing right now, and I think I am fairly successful at it. Even if you did get the 3rd TC up right here, this one is about to go down, and I've got some good production behind it. These ballastas has got burning pitch too now. Makes them a lot more effective versus buildings. So I can actually begin to effectively siege down with these units. It's still not really that good, but it's alright. He's managing to defend his trade route, but he loses his TC over here. 3 portable rams, and he has to call it there. GG. So, yeah. I really like this beginning I had with the build order. Makes your economy extremely good. But then obviously this game was prolonged because I made a few fatal errors that he was able to capitalize on. But in the end, the Ragnarok recovery was able to win it for me.